You are listening to the USDN on the DFPN.
It's a trap!
What is up, everybody, and welcome to the United States Department of Nerds, where we are for the people, by the people, and of the people. And if you're noticing this lovely couple with me tonight, we have Ethan Kogan or Kogan.
Yeah.
Kogan. I was that close. And Jessica Silvetti.
You got it. Yeah.
Nailed it. And they're here to talk with us about Shockheaded Peter, book number 2, which I can tell you from personal experience. I just finished reading it about an hour ago. Well, the preview, and both book 1, book 2, chef's kiss. I love everything about it.
Oh.
Thank y'all so much for coming on and joining us here, and the rest of my council members watching from wherever they're watching from tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Can I first just applaud your intro?
Yes, it's amazing.
Because I was like, one, I felt like I was about to go on a ride at Disneyland, which was
Awesome.
Compliment. And 2, I'm like, I want to explore this world more right now. I know there was a lot of Star Wars references and whatnot, but still, I was like, can we go into this more?
Did you notice that we're also in an X-Wing flying through the galaxy far, far away?
Yeah.
Love it.
And the voice at the very beginning that says you were listening to the USDN on the DFPN, that is actually our good friend and Frank D, who's a part of the No Gimmicks podcast here at the DFPN network.
Oh, wow.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Practices very hard to get the voice right. He can do Darth Vader and he can do Sidious. So,
Oh, wow.
brilliant guy, really great cosplayer as well. So,
Awesome. Yeah, we know how hard that is. We know we actually just went through this. We were cutting a trailer for a book, and we just happen to know a lot of professional voiceover actors who lent their voices to the trailer. But just going through that process, I know how difficult it can be to dial in the right voice.
But it makes a world of a difference to have that good voice,
Yeah.
you know, the perfect.
he has it perfect. He's got that natural bassy voice anyway. So I think I listened to probably 100 plus clips of him practicing over and over again. He would do one that he really liked, send it to me, and I would listen to it and be like, dude, that's perfect. That's spot on. What are you doing? It's like, yeah, it's almost there. And he would just keep going. And he dialed it in perfectly. And I was just like, dude, can you do me a commercial like that? He was like, easy. He did me that one. He did me another one with Darth Vader's voice.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Nice.
So, but enough about my friends. Let's talk about y'all.
Yes.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for your very kind words. It's very exciting to hear that you enjoyed reading it. And you got a sneak peek of part 2. So
I loved it.
Exciting to hear your response to it.
Yeah.
Really enjoyable. Your artist's name is Giuseppe.
Yeah, we call him after a couple of years. We just call him Joe.
Well, he asked us to call him Joe,
He
so
did,
he
okay.
didn't know about Joe, but
Joe
it's
in
Giuseppe di Stefano.
Okay. And is he Italian or?
Yeah, he's Roman to be specific, I believe.
Okay.
He lives in Rome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this has been my year of discovery for comic books.
Yeah.
And I've learned of a lot of really, really good French, or I guess they're French and Italian comic book artists and comic book writers this year. And to see his name, I was like, he's either French or he's Italian. And I'm like, these guys, anytime I see their name on a book here lately, I'm like flipping it open, like, yeah, I knew it.
Yeah,
So-
no, we just like, it's a great match. And we've been so lucky like that it just all worked out with him.
So
and like,
how did that link up happen? I know that's a question for later, but since we're already talking about him,
we can dive into it, because like,
yeah.
So like we kind of hail from the film and TV world. That's how we kind of came up through things. And this was our first foray into the comics and art world. And we have a lot of friends in indie comics who kind of helped us along the way, and we wanted to do it right. And so when we were searching for artists with the tone of our book, we wanted something kind of dark, but also playful. And we didn't want to lean too heavy, because there were some amazing artists that we worked with. Like we did a variant cover of our first book where Shockheaded Peter was just completely goth and dark and awesome looking.
That'd be kind of cool to see, actually.
Well, we can show you that. And he did the variant cover for part 2, that same artist. Okay. But if we lent too much into that for the whole book, it would have taken on a different tone. You wouldn't have gotten some of the tongue-in-cheek humor that we try to put into it. And when we came across Joe's art randomly on a Facebook group, that he said he posted for the first time, and we saw he did this one character. I think it was like a Napoleon type character on a steampunk horse that was like rearing up, and it was just
I love steampunk art, so that's one of those where anytime I see it, you got to admire it, because they go into such great detail. On stuff.
And he did the pencils and inks and the color, and his lighting brought so much emotion. And we're like, okay, this is the guy. Let's do some test pages and see if we can work together. And it's been 3 years. Yeah,
from book 1 and now book 2. But exactly that, like the color, as Ethan said, like coming from more of like the film world, like just we were used to working behind a camera. It's different, but just seeing the color that he has in his art, we were like, that light he uses, it was really beautiful.
It is very different from what you can see with your eye and what you can put down on paper, in the way it can be blended, and the way you can texture color on paper versus how you see it with your eye behind a camera. So I really, that was one of the big things when I was reading through Shockheaded Peter, was the tones and the colors, and how it could be bright but dark. And with Peter himself in the book, like he's this dark, horrified looking person, but just that perfect pop of color with the eyes and the teeth and that kind of stuff. You're like, I don't want to be scared of him, but he's kind of scary. But at the same time, it's you want to kind of cheer for the guy a little bit too, I want to say, because you see what he's trying to do. He's just got a really weird way of going about doing what he does.
Totally. Right. We've always pitched this as it's kind of like Willy Wonka meets Freddy Krueger.
Yes.
Or fucked up fairy godmother type of character. And that was kind of, our intention.
Like this deranged fairy godmother comes to town and helps out this young teenage girl who's kind of going through a really rough time. So that's
absolutely in the whole town, not just her. I mean, she's getting it like from both sides, from home with everything going on, but then that town is just freaking horrible. Like that's like some Halloween town in A Nightmare Before Christmas. Yes. I was like, geez, these people are just cruel.
Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of the point. And then the girl Ruby, the girl with the literal broken heart, is in the midst of it, just getting trashed on left and right.
Yeah, and that's our other protagonist, so Shockheaded Peter and Ruby.
So let's dive into y'all a little bit because we got really carried away there. Let's touch on y'all a little bit. Let's introduce y'all to everybody. Y'all are the names behind this wonderful book that I hope everybody will support. But so, Ethan, you done Empire.
Yes, I was an editor on the show for Fox.
Ordinary Joe.
I did the pilot, yes.
And you've done feature films like Every Day and Aristotle. And Dante discovered the secrets of the universe.
Aristotle
Correct.
and Dante. Yeah, that was an indie film that came out a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I was in the capacity as film editor on all of those. We write and direct a lot of our stuff, smaller stuff, shorts or web series,
more indie.
or indie stuff. We can. I had been or have been in a union film editor for about 10 plus years, working all those things. And most recently, I just helped to produce a horror feature film, which is going to be coming out later this year, called In Our Blood.
That was my next one. Yep.
I beat you to it.
I love it. Keep going.
So I'm excited about that as well. Unfortunately,
so will that be a theatrical release on that, or?
Yeah, I can't talk too much about it.
Let's not dig in too deep. I've seen it on there. I'm like, I've not heard of this, and we have another podcast here on the DFPN called CJ Loves Horror, I think is what he calls it, and he focuses on 100% horror. So don't be surprised if he sees your movie and writes a review on it.
Oh no, it's
Cool.
We premiered at Fantasia Film Festival last year, and it's been doing the rounds. It got picked up by Utopia Distribution, and they're going to be releasing it. Supposedly, a trailer is going to drop really soon, and then I could probably talk more about it.
Okay.
I can say it's a really great director on board, there's information about it online. But until things start pouring out from Utopia.
No, absolutely. I don't want you to get in trouble. And Jessica, you're also a screenwriter and creator. And I'm going to try to pronounce this. Juego de las llaves.
Pretty good. Yeah. So I'm
high school Spanish paid off.
Yeah, it totally did. I'm as Ethan was saying, we collaborate, we write and direct together, but we've also worked on other projects like as work for hires, and I worked on 2 seasons. I'm fully bilingual. I was born in Mexico City, was raised in the States. I worked on a few series like TV scripted narratives for Mexican productions.
So you have worked with a writer that I just discovered, I think it was either late last year or early this year, named Clay McLeod Chapman.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
Clay.
Yes.
He wrote a comic book earlier this year or late last year called Seance in the Asylum. That was absolutely brilliant, and that's how I discovered him. And since have read a few of his books, his horror books. I know one of his books is currently right now being made into a movie as well.
Yeah.
But how is that working with him? He seems like he's just like an off the wall, fun type of guy.
Well, the way we worked when we actually had permission to adapt a short story of his from Rest Area, from his collection of short stories called Rest Area, into a short film. So we did not get to meet in person, but we exchanged info, we communicated, but very, very nice, cool person, so extremely talented, and his work is amazing, and Rest Area was just amazing. And a friend of ours was building this, it was kind of a festival based around
he did like a kind of like a multi media festival centered around horror stuff. And a lot of Clay's work was involved. So there were like theater pieces and art, and our contribution was the short film of Poor Mermaid.
Yeah.
And Clay was very hands off, very supportive if we had any questions. I'm not sure if he read the script beforehand.
I think maybe we shared it.
I think we shared the script with him, but he didn't really like stand in the way. He's like, no, you guys just have at it. And he saw it afterwards. He was complimentary. No, I think we did finally meet him in person at a film screening. We ran into him randomly.
Okay, years ago, because this was when we did Poor Man's Mermaid. That was like 2016 or something. It was a while ago. He was amazing, and his work is really, really.
I just seen it was like a little blurb about it, and I was just like, because I had just discovered him, so I was just like, that's really cool that she got to
Yeah.
not necessarily work with him, but she got to adapt one of his stories into a piece of film.
Oh yeah.
And I thought that was just probably the coolest thing ever, only because I'll follow him on Instagram, and the guy just seems like, and he's from my area. He's from here on the East Coast.
Oh, wow.
And so it's one of those where I kept trying to get up, like he does book signings locally or up in Richmond.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dang, I'm like, do I take off work to go up there? One of these days I'm going to take off work next time he does a signing and just have to go and meet him and get his autograph.
He writes really cool horror films, and I know he's in a lot of horror books, and he's in a lot of the comic circles. He did have one movie adapted by Elijah Wood's company called The Sun, I think.
Okay, I didn't know that. I'll check that one out too.
Yeah, I think the
but yeah, you should check out Poor Man's Mermaid is on our site.
Yeah.
You can stream it. It won an award at Houston International Film Festival.
Yeah.
I seen it on there. I didn't watch it as I was preparing for all this because you were my 4th interview this month.
Oh wow.
This has been my busiest, craziest month I've ever had, and it's been so cool. So I've been like on top of everything and just was like, this is how it always should be. This is what I want to do.
Nice.
Well, so I see this from Kelvin down here. He said y'all have his attention. Kelvin's actually the guy who made my intro, who made my Ed Swing that you see graphic behind us.
Oh, nice.
He's been my brother for like 20 years.
Nice.
So
tip of the hat to
Kelvin.
you.
Yeah.
Kelvin.
Nice to see you.
But let's keep going. So how did your Hollywood background influence the way you structured and paced Shockheaded Peter into like 3 books instead of just one giant, like, I'm going to throw you, 300 pages of graphic novel and you split it into 3. So how did all that, like, you take one side of it and bring it over to the other side?
Well, when we started, we first intended to make like a TV series, and then the world, because it's a fantasy horror, was so large, people were like, maybe, and then the pandemic hit too, so people were saying, maybe you should make this, of course, into a graphic novel. So that was kind of the idea,
which we resisted a lot because we didn't have the knowledge for the process, and it was just seemed overwhelming, and it was just, we resisted a bit.
Yeah, because we have a lot of respect for it too. We weren't like, oh, we'll just come in and do this. We were like, okay, we're gonna have to study up and like figure it out and really see, because it's a lot, to take on.
So I think it took.
I will say though, it would have been an amazing animated film. It
still could be. You know, we have plans for the property.
Yeah.
So I mean, well, not to delve into that right now, but
no.
Process. So we actually you have to kind of fight against that sort of idea of cinematic storytelling a little bit. The pacing that you would put into a script, or as a director, it doesn't translate in the same way. You have to get the same result that you're thinking, maybe when someone's watching a movie versus reading a comic book, you have to, we feel you have to do different techniques to get to it. And it was a lot of trial and error. We were cautioned to think about, your page turns with panels. And the more we started talking about it, the more we actually realized there's a lot of similarities with film editing and paneling out the script of a comic book. And so we kind of leaned into that strength a little bit.
And also just like really focusing, right? Because you're in a script, you have these large dialogue scenes and all these descriptions. And so obviously the description could be there for our artists to have that communication, really set up that world. But, you don't have these long dialogue scenes. So it was very much about just like, what is the very important meat of it that we need that's also still compelling, that drives the story forward, that you hit emotional moments. So in that way too, it kind of helps you become a better storyteller, because you're like, okay, I really have to think what's the grain of it that I really need and make it good.
Yeah. And another
Yeah.
thing that we have to kind of deal with is if you notice, so I think as filmmakers, for us personally, we're not big voiceover people. We're not big narration people.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a lot of that in comics and graphic novels, and it works very, very well. But if you notice, we don't do a lot of that in this book. We're very focused on the action, more of the characters and leading the scene. You'll have to catch up, find out as they do. That was another thing that we struggled with at first, whether or not we should put that in and write some narration or not.
No, the way y'all did it, I really like, because a lot of what Joe did helps move your words along the page.
Yeah.
So that really helped y'all in not having to put in those thought bubbles or those like explanation cells that you often see sometimes. And did he also do y'all's lettering as well?
He did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did everything.
That's perfect, because the way the bubbles and everything are laid out together, he did such a phenomenal job. And I can't imagine being, you have scripts in Hollywood. You probably did y'all write a short story on this first and then start chopping it up, or did y'all just go in like kind of storyboarding it?
Yeah, they're very detailed scripts, very, very.
Are you talking about before the script for the graphic novel?
Yes, yeah. I didn't know if y'all had wrote out kind of the story, then we were like, this is really long, let us split it into 3 parts, and then where you start lining through, you're like, okay, this is going to be too much for the story, so let me cross it out.
Well, it actually started out as a TV pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, production, and we were trying to pitch it around.
This was like our Bible for the show.
Oh, nice! Look at that.
We had so we kind of delved into the graphic novel world before we even realized it.
Yeah.
But
look at that. That is, who did that right there?
Yeah.
This I do a lot of graphic design collage work. So
that's really cool. That's almost like the movie with Kevin Bacon, Phone Booth.
Oh. Okay.
Like the way the eyes are. And how in the new trailer that just come out, where you just get the eyes in the face, the mask comes out in the dark.
Oh,
that's what I immediately thought. I was like, oh, that is so cool.
So we started out with that, and then it kind of we kind of took that as our basis and transitioned that into we repaneled the whole thing and wrote. Essentially, we took our pilot for part 1 and tried to translate it into part 1, 60 pages of part 1.
Yeah, because that sets up the whole world and introduces all the characters. So it's a lot of world building.
Yeah, I do have one question for y'all, and I may have missed it, or it may be in this in the entire thing of book 2. I think it might have been in the beginning of book 1 as well. The young boy, where he's like, oh, that's him, and he starts following him. Is that Ruby's dad, or is that somebody completely different? Because we don't see that boy no more. He just kind of I don't know if that was just used to tell a quick thing of him.
He's at the beginning of part 2.
Yes,
as well, and he will come in flashbacks throughout part 2, and you will eventually.
We'll reveal,
the tie-in.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
but
perfect.
It's in a different, in a different time. So
that's a little bit, dropping it here and there, and it'll eventually merge in with the main story.
Yeah,
perfect. Because I was reading part 2, the preview, and I was just like, I hope this is tying into something later on, because this, it feels like it's in the world, but it feels like it's not in the present time.
Yeah,
it feels like it's from before. So, all right, cool.
Yeah. No, it definitely will have a payoff for sure. But we're kind of stringing it along for now. Yeah.
So y'all being a married couple, how does that, the collaborative process with y'all work for this? Are y'all pretty much same page when it comes to this kind of stuff, or were there competing ideas on certain things? Because it's really, you're the first couple I've had on the podcast that actually, write comic books, and that's really cool.
I think any team is gonna, will vibe on certain things, and then we'll have differing views on other things. And I think that's kind of and then you get the best of eventually.
Yeah.
So, naturally we're gonna disagree on certain plot points, or the way certain things are written, or the way certain things come off, and we each bring a different point of view. And then sometimes it's just kind of like, okay, I'm going to have to state my case why I think this works, and she's going to have to state her case why she thinks this works. And then at one point, one of us is going to be like, oh yeah, you're right. That's better.
That's
awesome.
But
it's always building. But yeah, obviously I feel like we are on the same wavelength, because to be able to create something, you have to, be on the same like page with it. But exactly that. I think that when we do challenge something that the other one comes up with, it's only to make it better, or to really make sure it fits exactly, and like it's just purposeful, and so it's always to improve. But I think most of the time with this project, I feel that it's been pretty smooth. There's just points that we're like, oh wait, hold on, maybe we can go deeper with this, or we can go scarier with this, or
once we set up the premise, I think we were pretty much in agreement on how everything was going. We knew A, B, and C, but then sometimes little things pop in here and there, or little side characters pop in that we out more. Like there's a really cool chapter coming up that's all another side character, which I'm really excited about. Some stuff like that pops up, and we discovered that along the way. But ultimately I think we're pretty much in agreement, like Ruby, Peter, we know what's happening, go.
But anything like that, there's always a purpose for it. That's the thing. Like if something might seem like a cool idea, it's like, well, okay, how does that fit, and is it a purpose for it, instead of just like, oh, this is cool. Yeah.
So I did notice in the preview for book 2 is y'all did start going a little bit more into Ruby's tormentors, the other children in the town. Yeah. So I thought that was really cool when you see Ruby going to visit the one shopkeeper, and that's actually the girl tormentor's dad.
Yeah.
And her dad kind of puts Ruby's family in this very high light, whereas his own daughter, he's just like, this kid's a lost cause over here, as she's causing all kinds of hell.
Yeah. I mean, we're very much character driven in all of our stuff, even though we built this world and we feel is pretty immersive. We always have to go back to, it's always character first, emotion first, because without that, nothing's gonna matter.
Yeah, the layers and the complexity. We want the characters to be three-dimensional. Even though
it does give the reader the buy-in to the book and to the characters. Because I know for me, I'm cheering for Ruby over here, but I'm also like, Peter has like 100% of my attention, and why his real intentions are with Ruby and this town, and why he actually is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we know what he is per se, but y'all understand. I mean, it's y'all staying.
No, but it's great. It's great that that's what you're experiencing with it, and it's great to hear, because that's obviously like our intention with it. So it's cool that it comes across, and it's like compelling to you.
No, it's spot on. I think anybody who enjoys like the older like a Charlie Brown's Christmas or Charlie Brown Halloween or any of the Miyazaki stuff, the Nightmare Before Christmas, anybody who enjoys that 90s, early 2000-ish like animated stuff, I think they will really love what y'all are doing with this book. So
we kind of pitched this as, we say, Labyrinth meets A Nightmare on Elm Street by way of Hayao Miyazaki. So it's like, if Studio Ghibli did kind of like a horror type. I mean, I guess you could argue that maybe Spirited Away is a horror.
I was going to say Spirited Away, definitely. Yeah. It has a dark, theme throughout it. He's got a little bit of a dark theme throughout his books, but they don't really, they're not, what's the word I'm looking for? you have to be really paying attention to it. You know what I'm saying?
Subtle.
To
Yeah,
get to pick up the darker, subtle undertones that he carries with his stories.
totally.
So
yeah. And I do think we will get a little darker as we move forward. There is some pretty like distraught things that happen. I know.
I mean, in the preview for part 2, there's some pretty graphic stuff in the preview for it. So if that's the direction it's going and what Peter's plans are, I'm like, perfect. This town deserves everything they're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the direction things are going.
Well, it's a lot of like, you know, we took inspiration from the source material, this German book called Der Struwwelpeter, Peter, right? A 19th century German children's book, like 1 or 2 page cautionary tales about behavior, children's behavior. Don't suck your thumb, otherwise someone's going to come and chop it off. Don't hit the dog, otherwise your body parts are going to fall off. Right?
Brilliant stuff.
Use punishments to teach.
Right. And there is a character called Shockheaded Peter in one of those stories about a boy who doesn't take care of himself. And we kind of plucked that out, created a mythology around that character, and put him into this other universe.
Yeah.
But with the whole theme of the cautionary, behavior, punishment, and then we gave him a code, and then we let him loose. So there's a whole mythology that we put around this thing.
It's brilliant. I mean, just being able to pull like an obscure character from German folklore from the 19th century and put him into this beautiful, brilliant animated world that y'all have created for him, and just, hey, go do your thing, dude. And then you give him a town where every kid in this town needs a belt across their butt. If you're from the 80s and 90s, you get that reference. I know that's not allowed today, but my day, we may have got a Switch or a chancla or something like that.
Yeah,
so
and I mean, but they're pretty horrible people, and it is about the nature of the consequences of your actions, right? What and how do you live with the consequences of those actions? That's a lot of what we're writing about. And in the case of Ruby, then becomes an idea of morality, and where is your morality taking you? And
I mean, exactly. It's all of those things, and just making it also fun, but the whole theme of like the punishments and consequences. Yeah.
Consequences for your actions. I like it. So I got to ask, how are y'all balancing everything that y'all have going on right now with also having Shockheaded Peter Book 2 on the cuffs of launching? That's y'all. I mean, y'all have your hands on a lot of stuff, it seems. And oh, by the way, we're about to start a Kickstarter, which is 30 days of madness.
Yeah.
So it's already started.
And like building up to it is, just trying to get the word out. So thanks for having us on.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it's just about awareness and getting it out there. So I guess less sleep, being just busy and trying, but trying just to get it out there and get things done.
There's a lot of marketing, self-promoting, reaching out to people such as yourself.
Y'all have done a really, really good job of this.
Oh, thank you.
Like let me give me just 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I've done like almost 20 interviews this year. And y'all, for the most part, I won't say no, let me take that back. Almost every single person I've interviewed has got that part of the Kickstarter thing nailed down to a T. The marketing in yourself, getting the book out there for people, coming on podcasts and doing that kind of stuff. Y'all are doing a phenomenal job of doing that pre-game stuff that y'all should be doing as a creator getting ready to kick off a Kickstarter.
Thank you.
So kudos to y'all. And I got to literally, like, Ben Lacey this year twice. Had Bobby Campbell on here with his Tales of the Illuminatus. Bruno Caterino if he's another guy, he does a lot of really good sci-fi horror anthology type of things. I've had him on here 3 times. I got to interview the CEO of VV Collectibles, Dan Carruthers, who's in New Zealand, by the way.
Oh wow.
Crazy time frame on that interview.
Yeah, right.
Duke Electric, who's a Canadian. He has a Kickstarter called Greg that's out right now. There's y'all. Interviewed Nicholas Keaton Casborough, who does Vitalirium. It's a book that he turned into a comic book. And I also interviewed his artist, Francisco Nilo, and then Mike Scrace, who is a blind comic creator from the UK.
Oh, wow.
So these people have all been successful in their Kickstarters, and they've been successful because of the way they market themselves, the way y'all are doing right now. So, and y'all already you're not rookies at this anymore. This is your second time doing a Kickstarter. So
that's actually what I'm most nervous about. And actually, some people have warned. They're like, the first time people come out and they're like, okay, we'll support you. And the second time, a good chunk of those people that might be like family or friends might be like, again, really? Like that's what I'm.
We hear the second one's the hardest one, so we're
and we didn't do ourselves any favors by deciding to make the second book 108 pages.
That's probably true, but at the same time, you could have just released one book with 300 plus pages and it not have got off the ground at all. You know what I'm saying? So y'all are doing it the correct way, because I know comic book series right now that were marketed as both a comic book and a full up, graphic novel at the same time, where you could just buy the graphic novel and be done.
Yeah.
But the graphic novel itself was like $100 something.
Yeah.
For the full story, but I could get the comic book for, I think it's going to be 5 or 6 issues for $5.99 at each.
Yeah,
and coming way under the so I mean, then you got to think you're printing it on glossy pages, hardback, what have you, and the more stuff you add in there, the higher that price gets, plus whatever your publisher is going to take off the top for printing it for you. So
we're trying to keep that under consideration when we offer the book. They're all going to be really nice, perfect bound books. And we're actually doing, we revised part 1 with a new cover and made some additions, revisions inside.
Yeah, the revisions inside are not drastic. It's just some things that we thought would improve it slightly.
Right, some dialogue in a panel or two. But we really want to take that in consideration, like the pricing, and trying to keeping it as as low as we can, so people can enjoy it and get it. And we're also offering some pretty cool rewards. We have we actually made some awesome pins that are coming with a lot of the editions. Like Ruby's going to be a big 2-inch hard enamel pin.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah.
And she's kind of like in an action pose, which is cool for Ruby.
I love it. I love it because you're answering questions that I had for later when we got down there. So that's awesome. I love a good pin.
Yeah, and Peter's
I haven't added this one yet, but that's my Luana Vecchia lovesick pin from her character Domino from her comic book.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, she's also from France.
Oh,
wow. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got some good artists over there in Europe.
They really, really do. I like I said, I'm so impressed with this work coming from over there to over here. Like I've been back in the comic books for like 4.5 years, I guess.
Yeah.
And this has kind of been my year of discovery for European artists and South American artists as well. So just brilliant, talented people.
I mean, San, who did the variant, he's from South America. He's
Argentinian.
Chilean. Lives in Argentina, but Chilean. Yeah.
Santiago Espina. Yeah.
Or the other way.
Yeah. My friend who does the artwork for Vitalirium, Francisco Nilo, he's Argentinian.
Oh, wow.
And he's doing his part.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, the art,
you got my reference, right?
His part?
Yeah.
Tell me. What am I missing?
Starship Troopers.
Oh my God. That's
That
yes.
moment.
That's where the meteoroid hit, was Argentina.
You wouldn't get okay. That's a deep cut.
Yeah, Buenos Aires. We're doing our part. Which, according to Fran, that's like a thing down there. They'll pass by their friends and they'll be like, "Hey, we're doing our part," which I thought was hilarious.
That's funny.
You know the actor Casper Van Dien.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm,
He's Argentinian in Starship Troopers.
Oh, okay, got it.
Brilliant piece of cinema, by the way.
Oh, no, it is. Paul Verhoeven. Yeah, that Total Recall, RoboCop.
Mm.
Nothing better.
Great time.
Those
But to get
old
back-
80s and 90s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah.
going, please. I'm sorry.
No,
No,
but to
no.
get back to the art, I was telling you that Joe, like in part 2, he really upped his game with the detail
Mhm.
and how, a lot of the stuff that we're getting into in some of the images you'll be seeing. We were very impressed and pleased with the way that he's been progressing.
I mean, he's amazing already, but between
Yeah.
the first book and the second, there was some time and he had worked on a couple things. And then when we met up again to talk about book 2, we talked about that, there is not a lot of time happens chronologically from book 1 to 2, but there is this change like in our protagonist, right? So we were talking about like maturing a bit and like darkening a bit of the art. So it's still the same. It's the same, but it's like there's this like level of like darkness that kind of like creeps in a little bit more. And so he took that there, and that's also why we decided to do like a new colorway for the first book. And also he like redesigned a couple things. It's still the same cover, but he just like gave it that tweak. That's more of the style that we're doing now. Yeah.
No, the art that y'all sent me over with the press pack was absolutely amazing. Who did that cover that y'all sent me? The white cover with the
face, the half face.
No, the one with, I think it's Ruby.
With Ruby.
Oh, that's San.
Yeah.
Santiago Espina. That's
okay.
So he did the goth cover variant.
I love that cover.
Mm-hmm.
So he's great. That was, if we went with him to do the whole interiors, the vibe would have gone very differently.
Yeah.
We think the way that the script was and the story was, we had to lean more into Joe's art.
Yeah, it just aligned for this project. But that cover by San is beautiful, and it's
amazing.
It's all I mean, they're both obviously doing everything by hand, but like
the line work.
So yeah, exactly. So
San basically sent us, you could see like he does all that by hand. He sent a picture and you could see it was just done in a spiral notebook. And I've actually, I hired him to work on a pitch deck for a movie I'm developing, and he did a bunch of the artwork to help with that. So his that variant cover is excellent with Ruby, and we're very pleased.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that cover. That's one of those where it'd be really cool just the big poster, slap it on the wall, because I love that style of art. And then that goth, feel to it. It's a brilliant.
It's gorgeous. Cover. It's gorgeous in the color and everything. And to be honest,
it's so simple. It's just red and blue.
Foil.
Sure, if you want to. He's gonna grab the foil based on the gothic cover that San.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, he's just gonna show it. And for that, we did that with the first Kickstarter, just a limited edition of the foil. So obviously we promised we're never going to reprint that. So it's like a metal, very, very cool. But one thing is we haven't revealed the cover yet for the standard of book 2, which we're not going to do until we launch. So that's Joe. Yeah.
Smart.
But
I like it.
Here's the foil that we did as a variant. Yeah. So.
Yo.
Yeah.
Do y'all still have those on your site?
Yeah, there's only 5 or 6 of these left.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I was just saying how
that is
not going to reprint this.
This is
look at that
limited.
But see, that's his Shockheaded Peter, and it's a totally
that is
rabbit
brilliant.
Yeah.
Let me show the back too.
Well, the back's on it.
Yeah,
too.
the
I
back.
didn't.
No, but the back is also metal. We just did the foil for it.
That I'm a sucker for a good-looking gothic horror themed foil.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just something about them. The way the foil and the metallic off the foil just makes certain elements pop on
It was,
the
yeah.
covers.
Printed really well. This is just the regular.
Still very beautiful, but the way the yellow foil makes the yellows and stuff pop is another level of artistry.
yeah, and it was really, really fun. And again, just for those people who are listening who don't know, that is for book 1, the variant cover that we did. But we had a blast.
That
doing
was only the first Kickstarter printing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Those are.
No, that's how you do. That's how. And I wish comic book companies of the 90s would have done this and just kept those to a limited print. Because if you go back, and if you can, I don't know if y'all were into comic books in the 90s, but everything had foil covers back then. Like literally everything.
Yeah.
And they overprinted the hell out of them. And now they're worth pennies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I collected baseball cards, and cards of the 80s and 90s were like junk. So yeah.
Yes.
I get it. Yeah.
But yeah, we committed to that, like being like, this is only with our, first Kickstarter printing. Like, we're not going to reprint these, so that way that there's that, I guess, the limited.
You hold something special from it.
Yeah. I think San was kind of tapping into our, our HBO version of this book. And we're like, if we do go down a road eventually, like these are good comps.
There's a anime that just reminded me of. It was in my head, now it's gone. Beside the point now, I guess, because I can't even remember the name, but him walking down the stairs and then the foil, the very goth look, it was like a vampire anime that I had watched. And it's just my head immediately went there.
Email us if you remember.
Yeah.
I will. Yeah, absolutely. Or I'll shoot you a message on Instagram. So Shockheaded Peter is such a unique blend of horror, fantasy, and folklore. And you balance the gruesome punishments and strangely whimsical energy. How did you kind of strike that tone without tipping too far into pure horror or pure fantasy?
I think
because that could have been very easily done if you weren't careful.
Yeah, I think that's two things come to mind. One is definitely like relying on our characters being very layered and grounding them, and like our protagonist Ruby having a lot of heart. And also the art, like what we're talking about with Joe, just like having that balance so that way we don't fall too far into that dark and horrible world that
could very easily have been done. And that could be something really cool to go back to later and re-explore, make it into a darker, more adult toned book if you ever wanted to. Mm-hmm. So that's a door that's open for y'all later down the road if you wanted to.
I think, maybe we're just a little deranged and we laugh at all the punishments, and maybe that's
we all are. We all are.
But I think as far as it going darker, I think if we, eventually down the line develop this into a show or a movie, that's where we could probably delve into the more adult version of Ruby and Peter, and the ramifications of their actions and human nature even more. But right now, we just the way that we wrote the pilot and the inspiration from the source material, and then seeing those work, and we were just like, this has gotta take on the life kind of like a Tim Burton kind of work or something like that. And
it'd be a really cool stop motion as well.
It really, we've actually, that we know people in that world as well, and we thought of that as well.
Yeah, but even if we do, which would be amazing to do a series or a film, we would still keep that magical aspect of it, even if we go darker, because I think that balance is really important to still have. It is a fantasy horror, and I think that these moments that do balance it just make it feel like well-rounded, and people can connect to better than if it was just like leaning way much more
No,
one
yeah. And the way y'all done it, you have this perfect balance where a kid could sit down and read it and not be scared, but it's also still fun for us as adults to read as well.
Yeah, and that's one thing we were like, oh, okay, what are people going to think this is? Because it's not, yes, because of the images, like the illustrations, you might think, oh, this is for kids, but we always say it's like, you know, like at least PG-13, because like the things that are seen.
There's a couple of F-bombs in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so,
I think every good comic book should have at least one.
Yeah. So I mean, it is.
For us, it's solid PG-13.
Yeah, solid for sure. Yeah.
You know,
I think PG-13's allowed what, 1 or 2 F-bombs?
I don't know now, but something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. So.
And we don't. There's no nudity. Well,
no.
There's like a half.
Well,
then later on.
I mean,
but there's also some tongue-in-cheek, like kind of funny moments that, you know, we also like that, just to have. I think like anything that's good might find some humor in it. I think it's just good to have, you know, those different colors.
I mean, you take it back to you mentioned it had that feel of Nightmare on Elm Street, and Freddy Krueger was funny to himself. But he had some zingers and some one-lines in the movies that were absolutely brilliant. So,
yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, he cracked himself up the original. Yeah, that's, you know, I mean, we did kind of grow up in that era, so maybe it's that just kind of like been seeped into our being.
I mean, yeah, like,
not gonna lie, it scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Oh, Freddy Krueger, yeah, of course.
Like, out of all of them, Jason, Michael Myers, they didn't.
Yeah,
I thought those were the coolest characters ever. But Freddy Krueger, legit, the fact that he could evade my dreams scared the shit out of me.
Actually, didn't he just? I think I just saw something that
he's going to be Jiminy Cricket.
Oh, wow.
In the new Pinocchio from Blumhouse, I think it is, or whoever's doing the Pooh-verse. The Winnie the Pooh-verse. He's playing Jiminy Cricket in Pinocchio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Robert Englund, who finally got a start on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, finally.
We did? Good.
Yep.
He deserves it.
Well deserved.
I think I just read that Freddy Krueger was voted like scariest character of like the past, however, like something just popped up today.
Yeah.
I got to go
look back at that. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, actually. Sorry.
Go ahead. No. Go.
For book one, we also did a pop culture variant, and it was A Nightmare on Elm Street.
So that
was something that
it's the poster, like Ruby's in bed, and then Peter's reaching over
like
her,
the hand,
like
a Freddy Krueger hand.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
I wish I would have discovered it then, because I would have definitely but I'm definitely going back and getting that foil if it's still available. But so Ruby, your teenage heroine in this, is described as a girl with an actual broken heart. Can you tell us about her journey in this second volume and how she evolves in the story? Because we're seeing that she stepped up. She's trying to do more for her family, given the state that her father is in. And just her family's history to begin with is just probably, out of all the chaos and tragedy going on in that town, her family probably has it the worst.
Yeah.
They do. It's sad.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, without giving too much away, it's exactly what you said. She definitely steps up, and she's, you know, when we say the girl with a broken heart, like she actually has a broken heart because she has this condition that she wears her monitor, which her
I was going to ask y'all what was y'all trying to refer that heart? Because I know she's got the real cool monitor that her dad made for her. Yeah. And then, but I was just wondering, like, what was, like, did y'all come up with a heart condition just for the story, or was it like, did you base it off of something?
It is not off. I mean, it is also kind of like, you know, a metaphor for society, you know, kind of like the people who want to do good or who are naturally good, centered around all this monstrousness, all this horrible behavior. You know, you are essentially a person with, you know, you've got a broken heart. You can't compete with it. You can't fight against it, or to no avail, because it is just overpowering. I think it kind of emerged out of that
So
Okay.
it's for the character, it is metaphorical, but also physical, a
Yes.
physical condition that
Physical
she
limitation.
does. Yeah, she does have this limitation. So
Okay.
she has to figure out ways to, get through life with this.
Because originally, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was like her Hulk monitor. Like when it got to a certain degree, she would Hulk
Yeah.
out and just whoop everybody's ass.
I mean, if by Hulk out,
There's
you
a
mean-
few times I was kind of hoping she was going to do that.
I mean, book 2 is interesting.
Yeah, book 2 is interesting. It opens up 2 avenues.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, she's definitely going to take on a lot more and also grow, like
Yeah.
she is bullied. Yeah, she's a teenager, but she's like an awkward teenager, and she's in a town where there's a lot of like really, as we said before, very like
vile people.
vile people.
And
yeah.
it's also dealing with the nature of if you are a good person at heart, but you're surrounded by all these horrible people and people who really don't necessarily deserve your kindness or goodness. How do you deal with that? How do you defend against it? And then someone shows up that gives you an opportunity to take action or revenge. How do you balance the morality of that?
Yeah, so even though she's a good person, it doesn't mean she's not without her flaws, or she doesn't act like it's human nature. It's not like she's just a wilted flower that's not going to take like her own actions and be,
Yeah. If this doesn't give anything away, but if you notice in the book, Peter speaks with black balloon bubbles.
And he speaks in riddle as well.
He does.
Which I thought was really cool.
He's very lyrical.
Yeah.
But if you notice a couple times earlier on when Ruby gets a certain type of demeanor, her bubble darkens just a little bit.
Oh, I have to go back and look at that again.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely like, I think book 2, we do have 108 pages. So it's going to expand a lot of what's going to happen. It's going to reveal a lot of things. And obviously like we do have a third part, so it won't be wrapped up with 2, but it's going to leave you definitely.
There is an arc.
Yeah. There's
part 2.
Yeah. And we've always known the arc from the beginning. We've always had the full story.
And we never structured this like your traditional 22 pagers, traditional floppies.
Yeah.
But we always want to make sure everything has a beginning, middle, and end, but with like a little bit of a hanger.
Sorry, that's our dog. If you hear.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
What kind of dog y'all got?
He's been pretty quiet, but then he just had to shift. So.
What kind of dog is it?
He's a boxer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got 3 cats. They're all downstairs apparently. Normally there's one sleeping right back there. Normally there's one sleeping like right here on my desk. And the other one, he's new to the house. My daughter just adopted him. But he stays downstairs until my daughter's home, and then he's like wherever she is.
Oh, nice.
He's very much my daughter's cat. He's 100% attached to her. Unlike the other 2 who were basically 100% mine at this point.
That's another thing. We kind of have like in the book, like for lack of a better term, spirit animals. At the beginning, Ruby has Toby, the mechanical bird.
I thought that was really cool because that's my oldest cat's name is Toby, only with an I.
And if you notice, Peter has a little salamander. That
yeah.
It's on there. It's in there.
Yeah.
But you'll learn more about the meanings of these things.
They were mechanical. Her parrot or her bird is mechanical, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
The idea was that her father built it.
Yeah.
Being a master clocksmith, he fashioned. Not to get too much in the detail because we don't go into this in the story, but the idea was that Toby was a real bird and he was getting sicker and sicker, and they kept on patching him up, and then he eventually just became a full mechanical bird. That was our own backstory.
No, that's cool as hell.
Yeah.
I love that.
Those are some things that sometimes you're like, well, what can you keep in the story and what can you have to like make more concise? But that's the origin of Toby.
We have a little compendium of all these backstories. They're there.
And y'all get ready someday to release the full like the artist edition, as they call them.
Yeah.
You'll have to include all those little things that because that's really cool.
Yeah.
But I was just saying Toby is there's a connection there with people and their animals.
Yeah.
So
I know the one family had the pig as well, but I'm sure he's been raised for something else.
Yeah.
That's pretty serving for
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his name was Bacon or will be Bacon.
Yeah.
All right. Man, we've been hitting this just right. So, was this always planned as a 3-part series, and did you always have a beginning, a middle, and an end already planned out, or was it just something where you started working and realized, like, oh, this is going to have to be 3 parts, but we know the beginning and we know the end?
The second question we knew.
Yeah, we knew
where it was going,
and that was like that Bible that Ethan showed you at the beginning.
Yeah,
so that we had like all the main points in
the
arc, the entire arc. Yeah,
we actually have what, 4 or 3?
I think it's 3.
So like there's 3. No, but there's 3 full books. If this 3 is a full book, we have stories mapped out for 2 more.
Yeah.
Oh, dope. Yeah, I like that.
Because it builds out the mythology.
Yeah.
And we needed to do that to actually build to write this. So we kind of thought all that through. So, but the second part of your question, the 3 parts, I don't think we knew it was 3 parts. I think that came organically.
For this first book, we wrote the chapters, and then it was trying to find. Yeah, I guess it came as we were making it. Like the first one, then we figured would it be 2 or 3, and then.
Well, I think we did the first one because we were like, this is how we're going to test the waters, and we have an arc for like the intro, and we did that. And then when we went to write, it took us a bit to write parts 2 and 3 because of work and other things we were doing.
Oh yeah, I imagine.
And so when we sat down and we wrote it, and we were thinking about the arcs, and like I said, 108 pages, but that was like the right arc that hit the right points, and it got the right ending where we're like, we can end here, and then we're like, what's left? That's just one more part. We can't stretch it out or shrink it anymore. So I think when we were kind of organically figuring that out, it just kind of, the pieces fell like that.
Yeah.
If we went back right now to rewrite it, it might only be 2 parts. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. I like the fact that you had the beginning, you had the end. It was just figuring out how to, arc 1, arc 2, arc 3. I've seen stories that were arced really badly. Like they just kind of like abruptly stopped, and then arc 2 picked up, and you're like, this is just the first arc.
Right.
Like, when are you going to start the second arc? Like, you're continuing the first.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how Netflix is doing their TV series right now, you know?
No.
They give you the part 1, part 2, part 3 of season 5.
Yeah.
And you're spreading it out so far. Like Stranger Things, I can't even get into anymore.
Oh, really?
It's been spread out so far, like with years between seasons. I'm like, I don't even care no more. Like, these kids are having kids now, you know?
Their grandkids, you know?
And I'm just like, it ruined it, because the first, like, 2 seasons, I think, were like, boom, boom. And then it was like, oh, it's going to be 18 months. And I'm like, I'm not even going to care in 18 months.
Yeah. Well, mentioning that was a worry with us, like, having so much time in between the first book and the second. But that's another reason that we're going to be forging right ahead. Like, book 3 is already written. We just finished. Like so our plan is to, as soon as like this campaign is done, and you know, hopefully everything goes really well, then like dive into the next
right
one.
Into it. Yeah.
I like it. I like it when we're in it.
Ideally, we would love to like put out part 3 end of next summer and just have the whole everything done. But yeah, we'll see.
That's awesome. So we'll start rolling this up a little bit. Let's talk a little bit more about the Kickstarter campaign starting October the 8th.
Yes.
And it will go, I'm guessing, at 30 days like a normal Kickstarter, or do you have it planned for a little longer?
November 4th is when we're ending. Yeah.
Okay. So a little just shy of a month.
28 days.
Yeah, 28 days.
And we got a national holiday in there with Halloween, so.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we'll be running that. We got some early. in the first 48 hours, we got
Mhm.
2 early bird tiers, which would be really good
Cool.
to jump on. One will just be for a print version of the book, and the other one will be a catch up where you'll get the new revised part 1 and part 2 together with a whole slew of like a hard enamel and a soft enamel pin. One thing we're going to be doing if you're in the LA area, we have a bunch of signings coming up at 4 shops during October. And this is only in person, unfortunately, but we printed out little mini ink only ash cans of chapter 2 preview.
Oh, that's really cool.
And they're about half the size. They're floppies. And we're giving those out at our tables with the purchase of anything. Could be a book, a pin, cards.
That's really cool.
We only made 50 of those.
Yeah.
But
so for people who don't know at home, this is what essentially an ash can is. Only this is a foil ash can.
Oh, cool.
And this one's from Duke Electric, who was just on doing Greg, which is it's Greg issue 0. He wanted to start off with a prequel, then jump into the main story of his book. So this is basically the birth of Greg.
Nice.
But it's an ash can and it's a foil with just the highlights in the foil. I don't know. It's really cool.
Yeah, ours will be smaller, but yeah, we'll be doing that. Which I mean, it's chapter 2, which you got a sneak peek. So then anyone, anyone who comes by will be able to get this.
So you're doing miniature size, right?
Yeah.
Which I noticed here lately has become kind of popular again. I've noticed Marvel and DC and Dynamite and those guys jumping on that bandwagon and producing little miniature comic books.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It just felt right for the convention of it, and it's really cool just to see the artwork with the inks only, and also, you know, no dialogue bubbles, and no sound effects. Just, you know, Joe's, you know, his ink line work.
Yeah,
and it's pretty awesome. We were pretty, you know, it's something we would want, so I think that's why we made it.
Yeah. And again,
I mean, a lot of this at the end of the day is we secretly do it for ourselves.
Yeah.
And hope everybody else enjoys it too.
Yeah, and again, the idea of like just limited. We're like, okay, we're only doing 50, and that's as many as we'll have.
I will say we are adding a digital version of those inks only in one specific tier of our rewards tier on the Kickstarter. So there's that as well, but we won't offer it in print on the Kickstarter. So
okay. I like it. And I know you said you had some special awards for the Kickstarter as well. You have the pins. You're doing the tiny comic books for the in-person meet and greet. And I'm guessing you're going to be at 4 LA comic shops. Or are you going to do a bookstore in there? Or
and we're doing Golden Apple's like one of the bigger ones. There's 2 Comic Bugs
and Pulp Fiction.
And a Pulp Fiction Comics in Culver City. If anybody knows any of these stores,
I know Pulp Fiction. I think everybody in comic books has heard of that one.
Yeah, so I think we're going to that one on the 8th.
I think that's on our launch day.
The day we launch, we're going to be at Pulp Fiction Comics, so it'll be fun.
And so we got all the good stuff happens in LA or north of me or south of me. Nothing ever really good comes here, and I don't really blame them because it's kind of, you know, but
you should start with something.
Yeah, I mean, you started this, which is amazing. So you know,
the idea has crossed my mind because I and a friend of mine, they own one in Missouri. They have their own. They do anime con up there and something else. I think it's like just a regular like con. I don't know if they got comic books or not, but he's killing it out there. No, here we have a local comic shop or local Comic Con, but do y'all ever go to Comic Cons or anything like that? Like, so here, I don't know how it is anywhere else, but they advertise it as a Comic Con, but it's an everything else con.
Yeah. Comic
book, like first off, they charge us way too much to go in and set up and have a booth and stuff like that. But there's just not a lot of comic books in there anymore. It's more, you know, geared toward the other stuff here lately. At least the last few years has been that way.
San Diego, the big one, has kind of it has gone that. Although I was there this past year, and it lot of people were remarking how there was less of a film and TV presence and more just kind of like.
So SDCC is the first one that announced that they were going to try to go back to the roots of what made a Comic-Con a Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And I love that. I think that is phenomenal. And it was one of those where we were talking about that on this podcast not that long ago, how we wished, if you're going to say it's a Comic-Con, go back to it being about the comic books.
Yeah. A lot of people felt that from talking.
So that's really cool.
Yeah. They felt that this year.
And I think NYCC announced something. Hopefully they do the same thing.
Cool. We got, LA Comic-Con is this weekend. So I don't know how we'll see how that goes.
And then like WonderCon in Anaheim. We've been there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got Dragon Con up there too.
We haven't been to Dragon
Yeah,
Con.
I know.
Yeah.
Some good ones up there.
A lot around
there's
here.
a lot.
But you have to travel the 5 though.
Yeah. I mean, but honestly, driving anywhere in LA just takes like 45 minutes.
I imagine.
Regardless.
So, well, actually, you answered that one. I was going to ask you if there's a way for people to catch up on the first book, and you said there's going to be an early bird special within the first 48 hours. So let me ask this. How important is community support for indie projects like y'all's? And what does it mean for you when fans back your vision? I mean, I know this is not your first one. This is your second rodeo on this, but how's this for y'all?
I mean, I think it's everything when they back. It's the only thing. It's like I mean, obviously it's so needed for the success of the campaign, but also it's just everything also for getting the book out there and just validating that people love the story and the characters and it getting out into people's hands. It's everything.
For indie stuff like this, community is make or break. It really is. Engaging with people and hearing their reactions. And that's why we focus so much on, like, when we write, to make sure these characters have, they emote, and you see their journey so that maybe someone can connect with that aspect of this one character or that character, and I'll tell you what, in part 2, you'll start to see that a lot of different characters start to have emotional arcs. So it's not, not just the main 2. So there's a lot of things for people to latch onto in this universe, and we hope that brings them into our community, and we can talk about it.
And the community support is really everything. So if you can, whoever is listening to this, watching this, check it out, or also share, and if you like it, please share. What was amazing after our first campaign is, obviously friends and people, saying that they enjoy it, but when you hear from someone who you don't know and they send you a message, complimenting it or saying what it meant to them or how much they enjoyed it, when you said at the beginning, that's everything too. That's a great, amazing
in
feeling.
Book 1, we did a very limited versions of Draw Me In, where we would draw people a panel or two, and someone reached out to us and was delighted with it, because we didn't just draw them in, we printed out on really nice paper, like art paper, so they could frame that as well. And we sent it to them. And they were very happy. And that kind of made it was a big deal for us. So, and we're
going to do that again. It's a limited amount, of course, but that's another tier as well.
Draw yourself in, or we had someone, draw in a business last time that can.
Oh, that's cool too. Yeah.
We say, if you can buy real estate in the metaverse, why can't you buy real estate within Shockheaded Peter?
It's a true story. I just seen somebody who does AI music get a $3 million record deal today, which I thought was complete bullshit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a market. I mean, if the market is there and there's somebody who's going to capitalize on it.
Well,
it's capitalism, right?
No AI was used in the making of Shockheaded Peter.
No, I don't care what anybody says. AI don't create the lines that your artist created on the cover of that book.
Joe takes a lot of care to, give the handmade feel of his art. And you can see it. He even does paint splatter throughout pages. He makes it feel very raw. You just came, you weren't supposed to read these pages, but you found them. And it's awesome. So we're
Yeah.
very happy.
He's brilliant. I'm so happy y'all found him to do this book because he fits this book perfectly.
Yeah.
We need to get him on to some of these podcasts.
It's
and
hard
start
with a
talking.
time
Absolutely.
difference, but
So,
like,
you brought that up. I think his name he goes by Heatstroke.
Okay.
The artist who does Ben Lacey's Shark of War.
Okay.
Like, I was complimenting the artist because to Ben, I was like, hey, he made a shark have emotions, a creature that is not known to protrude emotions, but he was able to keep it menacing as a shark, but portray its emotions. And I sent that clip to Ben for him, and when we were talking about it, and like the very next day, the guy, he's like, hey, it's me, I'm the artist.
Oh, nice.
I was like, oh, cool, dude. I'm like, you want to come on and talk about it? So I love to have artists on. That's how I met Fran, who does the Vitellarium comic book. Cool. He's going to be back next month, and we're going to be having a big talking about horror comic books.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Nice.
That's us. We're just going to talk about horror comic books because that's what we both really love is horror comic books.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
there's a lot of good stuff out there.
But yeah, if he wants to come on, and I'd love to have him on.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, we'll talk to him.
Yeah, we'll tell him.
He's 8 hours, 9 hours ahead of us.
From us, 9 hours.
Maybe only 6.
Yeah.
I made it work for New Zealand.
Yeah, right.
I can make it work for Italy.
Right. Yeah.
I do interviews in the UK all the time. So, I mean, it's like a 4 or 5 hours ahead of me, whereas y'all are 4 hours behind me. Mm-hmm. So it's just now getting dinner time where y'all are at. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I mean, we could totally reach out to Joe.
Yeah.
If he's interested and he wants to do it, then I would love to have him on.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, like, our book is one of the books but he's done a couple other things since. He
sent us this Italian graphic novel he just did called Malerva. Yeah. And it looks amazing.
Yeah, it's very
some
cool.
Sort of like Dante's Inferno horror.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
If you want to check out another really good one, check out Don't Run with Scissors. It's done by the Keen Spy, and it's brilliant. It's done by an Italian artist as well.
Oh, cool. Don't Run with Scissors.
I wonder if he knows, but we'll check that out. That sounds cool. Yeah.
It's got to be a small community there. So I imagine, like Luana, I know she's from there. Like Tula the Toy, I think she's British. So there's a lot of really, really good European artists that have literally, in my eyes, burst onto the scene recently. So and I don't know if that was just me being like, stuck like this for a while and then expanding out, but 2025 has been a year of discovery for me in terms of like comic books, and then getting to meet people like you, like Ethan and Jessica and everybody else I've got the pleasure to interview this year. It's been very awesome. It's been very awesome having y'all on. Before I let you go, why don't you tell everybody where they can find y'all, and also when they can, your Kickstarter will drop.
You can find me on social media anywhere. My handle is EBK from LA, pretty much on any social media.
Yeah, for me, I'm mostly on Instagram. Or I guess you can find me at Jess_Silvetti. So it's just like my name, spelled like my name.
And as far as the book goes, we would say just go to shockheaded2, the number 2.com. That'll take you straight to the Kickstarter. And in the Kickstarter preview, there's a bunch of links if you want to go back and find part 1, or just wait until October 8th and grab all the goodies on day 1.
That's when it launches on the 8th, and we'll wrap up on November 4th.
Awesome, guys. I want to thank both of y'all for coming on. This has meant the world to me to have y'all on and to talk about Shockheaded Peter Book 2. Spread the word. I'm here to celebrate Kickstarters and independent comic books all over the world. So October 8th, Shockheaded Peter drops. Go give Ethan and Jess a follow. They are awesome people with an awesome book coming out. And it's this point in time where I want to welcome y'all both to the Council of Nerds and let you know that Shockheaded Peter is USDN approved.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
that
so
means
much.
a lot. Thank you. Thank you.
So with that, everybody, I want to send everybody out with a good night and appreciate y'all if y'all came on and watched us live tonight. This video will drop next week on all podcasts and platforms and on YouTube. And with that, everybody, we are out of here.
Bye. Thanks so much.
It's a trap!